Hey guys, welcome to the Octopodd. Yes, that is Octopodd with 2 D's. Why? Because in life, double D's makes everything better.
True.
Very true. I'm Curtis, I'm the loud one, and this is Chris. He is the fat one.
Hey!
Good attempt.
Thanks.
Let him know what they can do in the comments down below.
You can leave us a question in the comments down below so that we can answer them in the next podcast right at the end of the video like we usually do.
In case you didn't hear that utter gibberish, you could simply just go into the comments down below, leave us some questions, and we'll answer them in the question segment at the end of the video. Whoa! Incredible. And we're just going to recap the 3 films that we watched this week, and we're going to be starting it off with The Corpse's Bride.
It's just Corpse Bride. There's no S.
Corpse Bride.
Yep.
Without the S. Corpse Bride.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. I kept saying Corpse Bride.
I thought it was Corpse's Bride. Is it actually Corpse Bride?
It's actually just Corpse Bride. Yeah, dude, I kept getting confused with it too.
All right, that's kind of bizarre. So no secret, I don't like musicals. I'm deathly terrified of them. Not in the sense like they scare me, but in a sense where I just hate them horribly, if that makes sense. It's just something about them that it just doesn't click. You know, my brain's not wired to enjoy musicals.
I feel like when I really think about it, musicals have some really cringy songs.
It's not that the songs are cringy. I feel like they are cringy in themselves as well. You know what I mean? It's a little too happy, a little too dappy. It kind of freaks me out how happy things are, and they're singing and stuff about some random bullshit. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, as they would say. Okay, Corpse Bride. I was about to plural that. I was about to say some bad words. I was about to plural that, and I'm not supposed to, okay?
What bad words?
Shut the hell up. Nobody likes you. Corpse Bride is a subtle pass, if that makes sense.
A subtle one?
A subtle pass. It said it was a musical, but I didn't feel like it was a musical because I felt like there wasn't that many songs. I think there's like 3, maybe 4. I don't know. There's one in the beginning. I really like the whole jazz thing with the skeleton dude going about like retelling Emily's story. That one was actually good, and I enjoyed it, which is a very big surprise.
My favorite part about that song was just the way that it kept changing the tempo.
Yeah.
Like, it was just switching it up the whole time. It was really nice.
It would start off with this cool slowness, and it would go speed up, and it would bring it back to the slowness. I kind of like that little, that little push and tug, a little pull and a tug, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I kind of like that. To be fair, though, the only reason why I feel like I enjoyed this film is the fact that it is a Tim Burton movie. I feel like, not just that, Danny Elfman's music as well is just absolutely great, as always. But I feel like the aesthetic, gave me that The Nightmare Before Christmas kind of vibe, which it was going for, honestly. Not 100% to the point, but very similar in a way.
I think it did because, like, the characters were very similar in a sense. Like, even Victor, like, in contrast to Jack Skellington, was just that slender physique. Yeah, incredibly thin and like skeletal.
What's weird is that Victor looked like the same character. Looked exactly like Johnny Depp in Sleepy Hollow.
Oh yeah,
it looked exactly like a very pale
Ichabod.
It looked exactly how Johnny Depp looked as Ichabod in Sleepy Hollow, like a spitting image. It was kind of freaky, just danglier and big-headed and freaky looking.
Danglier.
Yeah, like he kind of looked like that for me. But I do think this film is heavily carried by the Tim Burton aesthetic and the Danny Elfman music just blaring and whatnot.
It helps a lot. And like you said, like, again, with the songs didn't feel like out of place or just randomly inserted.
No, they felt like they had purpose, and it kind of made the story move forwards. I was very surprised that it didn't bother me whatsoever. I hate musicals.
What do you hate?
Musicals.
Unlike a skill,
Dude, I hate them. Don't give me skills.
Like 10,
0. Out of hate, 10 out of 10 of hate.
Oh,
I hate them 10 out of 10 of just pure hatred. That's why I'm very surprised that I like this one. But then again, the story was interesting. He accidentally marries like a undead girl just because he's practicing his vows in the forest. I was like, I like the setup.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I thought it was interesting, really interesting.
That was the thing. I liked the setup a lot, which made it pretty good.
I think we also mentioned it even when we were like just watching the movie. I really love and how they did the contrast that in like the land of the living, all the colors are like just bleak, like black and white. Everything looks depressing.
It's very dark and gloomy.
Yeah. And then you go to where the dead are, and it's just like there's so many vibrant colors and music and everything happening.
I think it's more so. Maybe it's kind of like trying to. Maybe it's trying to portray that in life you have so many worries and stress, while when you're dead they're all gone. So everything's just much better.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking. You're able to let go. What is there to worry about? You're already dead, kind of thing.
The worst of the worst has happened. You're gone.
Yeah.
At this point, there's nothing worse than that. It's pretty much over. And like you said, like without all those burdens that we have as humans, fun times begin.
I mean, at least that's what I was thinking that they were going for. Also, I wanted to talk about what's the guy's name? They're the villain.
Barkus.
Jay Leno.
Yeah, Jay Leno. That chin, bro.
Not even that, but the Jay Leno guy was so just. It was a good villain. I hated him instantly. You know the worst part? Not even the worst part, but it's like it's obvious he was the guy who killed Emily just because he looks like a bad guy.
Not even that. But when they show the silhouette, bro, that Jay Leno chin, come on.
That jawline, you can see a mile away, man. Like, holy shit. You just know Jay Leno's the evil guy.
No other character has a chin like Barkus. It was obvious from the beginning.
Yeah, I kind of liked Barkus, I thought he was a cool guy.
A cool guy.
Except for the fact that he was an asshole.
And he killed all the women he married for their money.
You know what? I gotta say, man, my guy's a hustler. All right?
I gotta be real. Usually the roles are reversed. Usually it's women doing that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Barkus was like on the next level kind of grind. He was like, you know what? I'm handsome. I'm capable. All right? I can score some chicks and make some money while I'm at it. Why divorce them when I can kill them? Easy money. Why get 50-50 when I could get 100?
Yep.
I don't know, man. Barkus was like, I don't know. I think he was like ahead of the game. Ahead of our time. Or their time, essentially. I feel like he didn't belong in that kind of timeline.
You think he'd do better now?
Oh, he would do way better. I think Barkus would kill it.
I hate that you did that.
But that was good. My favorite.
Oh,
okay,
God.
I wanted to say my favorite scene in this entire film is literally when Emily gives Victor his pet dog that passed away as a gift. I'm sorry, but as someone who's had, we both have pets that have passed away in our lifetime. It's an absolute horrible thing. But just to see that was so beautiful. Like it pulled on my heart. I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Screw Victoria. I think Emily was the right choice.
She was the one.
She was dead, but she was drop dead gorgeous, if you know what I mean.
Why do you have to do that? Stop!
I got a bone to pick with her.
What? I don't know. Just the instant.
Was that too much? Was that too much?
Nah, I like the laugh. I think it was pretty nice.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
For your role as a villain?
Yeah, I'm gonna be Barkus in the live action. They're like, we need someone who's a little bit arrogant.
Dude, you're gonna need
could be conceited.
You're gonna need chin injections.
And doesn't mind to have a prosthetic chin attached to him. And I was just like,
no, you gotta go real. It's gotta be an injection, just so you can inflate your chin.
Oh. All right, get like that crimson chin kind of thing. Like I look like I have a ball sack at the end of my chin, kind of thing. You mean that kind of vibe going on? I don't know if I could pull that off. Like the butt chin.
Yeah, the butt chin.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I could do that. I don't have it in me to get implants in my chin.
No, but for real, Emily was the real one.
She
would have been my choice.
You know what the weird thing is?
I don't care if she's dead.
Right?
I'm already dead inside.
Bro, when I saw Victor at the chapel, and he could have just like sipped on the bad juice.
Yeah.
Bro, I was just right away, bro. No hesitation. I'm hitting that back real hard, man. I'm dead, and I'm living the rest of my. Well, not living really. I'm deading the rest of.
I'm experiencing the afterlife?
Experiencing the afterlife with the love of my afterlife.
For eternity?
Well, I mean, either way, that's kind of cool, though. If he dies early, he's got something to lean back on, right?
Plan B is death?
You got a girl in the real world.
No, she went away, though.
Oh, she turned into butterflies. Oh, god damn it, she passed away. She passed on properly. God damn it.
I also like how the beginning started with, like, the butterfly, and then she turned into the butterflies.
Oh, that was very,
Yeah, it was just
what's
nice.
the loser way to call it? Poetic. It was very poetic.
Poetic is the loser way?
It's the loser way to express that. Yeah, it was a very poetic thing, you know, passing on into the afterlife properly. But it was weird. So that means so that means everybody in the afterlife in this film in the Dead City, they have not passed on yet properly. They all have some form of like attachments to the real world in a sense. I know there was like that dead dude whose wife was still alive. He makes sense, but I was just like, dude, there's a lot of dead freaks down there.
I think that's the fact of reality that, you know, it's something that's actually unavoidable. I think most people when they die they leave with regrets. And, you know, there's not much you can do about it at the end of the day.
I feel like there is no life that doesn't have regrets. You know what I mean? I think
it's not possible. Well, any person who says, I have no regrets, is a sack of shit and a liar.
In order to have no regrets, you wouldn't have to know what it means to have regrets. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense, because you've made regret. I guarantee you, everyone when they're younger, they have tons of regrets.
Those are the prime years of regret.
When you're young, you make some of the dumbest decisions for yourself, and you lose so many opportunities. Things change so much, and you have so many what ifs. You know, but I think to live a life with no regrets is to move on from the past. I think that's how you live life without regrets. You move on you never think about what ifs. You kind of just move on with your life. You can't have regrets if you don't think about them. You know what I mean? They don't exist if you don't believe in them.
Yeah, but everyone does. I think that's the sad reality.
Technically, yes, but you know what I mean? If you just... As you get older, you become more acceptant of it, and you can literally live the life of no regrets in a sense.
Yeah, but I think as you get older, though, you actually do start kind of like thinking about the past more, too. I think it's when you're younger that the past is more like of a thing that you don't really focus on. You're kind of more just flowing with things.
You don't have enough to think
exactly, as I'm saying. So as you get older, that's what I mean. Like when you get to that point, you're in your deathbed. Of course, you're gonna regret.
Oh, I'll have no regrets, man. I benched 315. I'm good.
That's it. That was the goal.
I'm deadlift 600, squat 500. If I died, I'd be okay about it. You know, I think I've hit some landmarks. I hit some good numbers, better than average, as I usually am. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
And then you can beat your Emily.
Oh, yeah! I don't know. I have to get used to the blueness, but I think I could work with it. You know, it's just like a taller Smurfette, really, with bones sticking out. I think it can work.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of a baddie, you know?
Yeah, she was a looker.
I mean, parts of her.
No, minus the whole bones.
Minus the whole
decaying flesh and bones.
Decaying flesh and bones sticking out. But I feel like as time goes on, I would get used to it and I would be okay with it. You know,
because I would also decay.
I don't think I would. I feel like I've eaten too much protein in my life that it would be hard for me to decay in the afterlife.
So protein is like the all to keeping your skin intact.
Yeah. I wonder. The only thing that would probably suck. I wonder. Do I lose muscle mass if I'm dead in that world?
Yes, you do. You're dead. No. There's no muscle building.
Hold on. Some of those guys were like, if you know what I mean. They were so, you know, they're still like that. So I wonder if when you pass on and you go in that world, do you keep the physique that you had previously?
I don't know. Some of them are skeletons, though.
If so, I'm gonna have to plan my death.
No, but some of them are skeletons.
Okay, but that's not me though. I mean, the more I'm trying to think of a good way. The fat ones, okay? I was trying to think of a nice word for it, and I can't do it, guys. The overweight ones. They still have their frame. Would I have to, let's say I'm about to die, right? And I know I'm going to die in, like, let's say 7 days, all right?
Okay.
And I do, like, a bodybuilding prep. Because if I die, I'm dying with abs, and I just haven't, like, for the rest of my life, I have abs. Because I go with the physique I have.
You literally, what you do is that you train for, like, a bodybuilding competition. You get 6% body fat and die.
Yeah! Yeah! And I look good when I'm dead. It's not a bad idea.
Huh.
Right?
Oh.
Because I don't need strength when I'm dead.
No.
What's the point of strength when I'm dead? I'm not going to pick up anything. My arms are going to fall off probably. That's going to be weird. You know? I think it's going to be fine. Honestly, I think if I'm dying, I'm planning it out just in case. Just in case the afterlife's like that. With a lot of Danny Elfman music and some weird Tim Burton-esque looking ass creeps.
Yeah, I think Tim Burton, whoever designs the characters, they know how to make some ugly people. Like, I'm going to be real man.
What I like about
especially Victoria's father, man looking like a frog.
Oh, yeah, he looked like a bullfrog, and her mother looked like a witch. Like, legitimately a witch. She was very terrifying. No. What I like about Tim Burton's designs, especially when it's like the animated things, he, like, chooses one trait and focuses it hard on them. You know, it's like, you know, the short frog man, right? No, but
No, I know.
he really dials in and says, "All right, this is a trait, and we're just gonna full blow it to the max." And
Yeah.
they're just like the ugliest thing you've ever seen in your life. Like if you saw this in real life,
And usually, like the main characters, like Victoria, Victor, even Emily, are all kind of normalish.
you know what? Yeah, they're fairly normal.
But everyone around the characters that are predominantly the ones that we focus on are like weird as hell.
You know what?
Ugly as shit.
You know what they say? All shapes and sizes. Well, Tim Burton definitely puts it to the test. All right,
Yeah,
he makes
does.
all shapes and sizes of people. I don't even know if they're people anymore. Creatures, even. All right.
Creatures.
Oh, dude, it's like he said he's a bullfrog. Her mother's like this tall, like kind of thing. She looks like a big ass. She looks like Big Bird, like an ugly, scary Big Bird.
Okay, Big
in a
Bird.
dress. It's very terrifying. I can't remember what was Victor's mother and father like. I know his father was like.
His father looked like a guy who was basically knocking on death's door. He was ready to go.
He
too.
was.
And
Oh,
he had the long hat.
Oh! I remember. His father was like. He's like a big green bean. You know, he had the green bean frame, and then his wife had the potato frame. They were like Thanksgiving dinner together, almost. You know. Right?
Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, you got the potato. I mean, she could be like a big plump turkey. I don't know. She's like a big turkey.
Hey, yo,
and
plump turkey.
Not the kind of would hit. You know what I mean? Not that kind of turkey. Not that kind of turkey.
We hit turkeys.
We stuff turkeys, and she's like a turkey. He's like a green bean. You got Thanksgiving dinner and as a family coming in. Kind of bizarre. I don't even know where the hell I was going with that.
You know what? I think I've been lost for like the past 5 minutes.
I think I've been mentally deranged for the last 5 minutes. I don't even know what I was talking about.
We went on about planning your death and talking about ugly characters.
Yeah, but that was important, planning my death.
Oh,
the
sorry.
ugly characters aren't that important. You know, I feel like they're self-aware that they're ugly. You know?
Yeah.
Did you ever like the only person who ever looked in the mirror was Victoria. Nobody else did. They know they're ugly.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm just spitting facts. That's all I'm saying, man.
Also, I want to say, like, before we even like move on,
Potentially move on.
yeah, the one thing I miss a lot from when we started watching these like films that came out years ago is just Christopher Lee. Man, his voice, dude. Ooh.
He is. You know what? Christopher Lee has a voice that is just like it's very unique. It reminds me of like Morgan Freeman, Harrison Ford. These guys have voices that are just so recognizable. Just boom, you know it's them instantly.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it. Like their
Not
voice,
a question.
Their voice alone is iconic,
Mm-hmm.
right? I feel like with currently nowadays, you don't get that with actors. They don't have iconic voices.
What do you mean, Chris Pratt? He's Mario and Garfield.
That was a terrible ass choice. Like you can also, you know what, who also has a very iconic voice?
Who?
It's sad to say, but I think Seth Rogen has an iconic voice.
Oh God, yeah, he counts.
Right? He's a little annoying. He's got the or whatever the thing he does. Yeah, but it is iconic.
Yeah.
Like, you hear his voice and you're like, oh God. But it's not like it's Harrison Ford. It's like, oh God, it's Seth Rogen. It's like a completely different recognize.
Dude, it's like when we saw him in Donnie Darko. It was like, oh God.
Oh my God, you're right. Holy.
My favorite part about Seth Rogen is like even if he does like an animated film or anything.
Oh, he doesn't. Seth Rogen doesn't even try.
He can't sound like anything but himself.
No,
That's why his voice is so like easy to click
He
with.
doesn't put effort.
No.
It's even like Donkey Kong. I thought, okay, how's Seth Rogen gonna pull off a Donkey Kong? And you just hear him. It's just goddamn Seth Rogen. He wasn't that bad as Donkey Kong though.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it.
It was pretty much Seth Rogen.
Guys, we have to get the hell away from this film because now we're talking about Seth Rogen. I don't know how, and I don't want to talk about this no more. So, Princess, no, what was it called? Corpse Bride. I was thinking Princess's Bride. Why? That's a really good movie though. Corpse Bride. Over. It was a good movie. Thankfully, it wasn't a movie that made me suffer because it had musical in the title. So I'm very happy that it was good. It was a very good film.
Yep, I'm a big sucker for Tim Burton stuff anyways, because like Nightmare Before Christmas was my favorite Disney film.
I think Tim Burton, like a lot of people would be like, oh, Tim Burton's things all look the same. It's the same aesthetic.
Yeah, it's called the style, shithead.
You know, it's not even that, but it's just like, if it works, it works. Like, it's aesthetically pleasing. And if people like it, just keep doing it. Nobody's complained about it, really. The only people who do are just, like, losers. So you don't have to listen to losers. They don't know anything.
But I'm like very biased because I love Nightmare Before Christmas. It's my favorite Disney film.
I just like the whole the overall dark aesthetic kind of thing, the gloomy dark aesthetic. I think it's kind of neat. I think the way Tim Burton does it is very unique. I like it. It's very good. Yes. Moving on now. Adios, Corpse Bride. You can die for now. We're gonna move on to.
Do you remember the movie we did next?
The Barbie movie.
I'm just glad you got it.
I got it. I was a little delayed, man. I had Emily on the mind, if you know what I mean.
Hey, yo.
We watched the Barbie movie. We decided to do... I've actually been wanting to see this film for a while. When I saw it was coming to theaters, I thought, oh, that's interesting. How do you do that? Not just that, but Ryan Gosling as well. I mean, I'm a sucker for Ryan Gosling. I'm just like every other, like, 18-year-old girl out there, all right? I see Ryan Gosling, I'm like, all right, maybe the movie's not that bad. Right? I see him, and I'm just like, yeah, okay,
I'm down.
I'm down. Potentially, it's going to be good. And you know what the thing is? The movie's literally called Barbie. Why is Ken the best part of it all? Why is every scene with Ken, like, literally 10 out of 10? Every time he's on the screen, it's 10 out of 10, man. I love it. And then Ken's gone. I'm like, bring him back. Bring my prince back. Where is he going? And then he comes back. I'm like, yahoo! You know, it's like a roller coaster ride. I keep waiting for Ken.
What'd you think about his musical performance?
Stunning. Breathtaking. Peak. Everything that he did was just absolute masculinity to its core. I loved his... I liked the song as well. I thought the song was very good. I hate to say it, but I've listened to it a bit more than I'd like to.
You've actually listened to it?
Sadly.
Sadly,
I've been to many dark places in my life, and this is one of them. I ended up listening to it quite a bit. I liked it. I don't know. The Barbie movie was how do I put it? It was good, but I also didn't like it at the same time.
I liked it. Like, overall, I thought it was a good film, but there were some elements to it that I kind of was like,
Exactly. That gave me a little bit of a... I had a few issues about this film, all right?
Shoot.
One of the biggest issues is that... So, previously, there was a bit of, like, talk on the internet when the movie came out. Some people were like, oh, I didn't like it. It made men look stupid, or it made this or that, or all that bullshit, you know what I mean? I was like, it's not that bad. And I watched the film, and I realized, like, after I watched the movie, I finished it, and I realized, why was every guy absolutely stupid in this? You know? You have the Kens make sense. The Kens are stupid. It just makes sense, okay? I believe the Kens being stupid. I get it. But then you go to the real world, and it turns out the real world, every guy's just Ken again. It just didn't make sense to me. Why are they all acting like Kens? Every guy in this film is just the Kens. There's no guy in this film. But then you have the women, who the Barbies are the Barbies, but when you go into the real world with the women feel real. You know, they feel kind of natural, and they feel like real people. And it's just like, they make sense. But why the hell are all the guys dumb idiots? It feels like they don't even fit into this world. It's supposed to be the real world, but it doesn't feel real. It just feels like a world where there's women and more Kens. It just doesn't make sense. I hate that bothered me. You know, I love Will Ferrell, all right, but he just played an idiot. He just played an
pretty much.
I don't know about it. I don't think businessmen are idiots. All right, I think they have some form of like intellectual integrity behind them. Okay, they didn't get there because they're stupid. All right, not all of them at least. I don't know. It just like that was kind of weird. I didn't understand that.
No, I can honestly see that. When I think about it myself too, yeah, I felt like generally like all the men were kind of presented in a really dumb way.
Yeah, there's none of them. There's not an ounce of intelligence in any of them.
It felt very unnatural. It just like you said, the women felt really like
you know
real.
what? Actually, the only guy that was somewhat capable or seemed kind of whatever was just like Alan. But even Alan, I don't even
Alan. I felt bad for Alan for the whole film.
Oh, I didn't, man.
Alan didn't want to be anywhere. He didn't like any of them.
The thing is, if people wanted me to feel bad about Alan, they should not have casted Michael Cera as Alan. I don't feel bad for him because he's Michael Cera. If he was anyone else, maybe I would reconsider, but screw Alan. That's all I can say. Screw Alan, straight up. That's all. I honestly thought the plot was going to go into a direction where Alan was going to try to take over everything. And I think that would have been fine. I would have loved that, and it would have been very deserving for him because nobody cared about him. The Barbies are fighting for the Barbies that have power again and stuff like that. And then Alan's helping them. Like, what about Alan, guys? He's literally helping you. What does Alan get out of this? Alan gets jack shit. All right? The Kens are treated like shit. They don't have homes. They don't have anything. And then there's Alan, who's beneath shit. All right? I don't know in the terms of what's lower than shit, but that's Alan.
I was honestly hoping Alan escaped, man. I was really hoping he'd just get out of there.
I was hoping he would either escape or become the main antagonist. I was hoping for either of those things because I felt something, this character needs to be more or do more. and he didn't.
I feel like it was a waste of Alan. I think they really could have
Oh.
done a lot more with it.
Oh.
You know what? The whole antagonist thing, I didn't think about that.
I think that
would have been really fun.
Alan had so much potential as a character, and they just threw him under the bus.
Because, like, even though I know you hate Michael Cera, he did a great job.
Oh, you know what the thing is? I don't like him, but I can respect his acting. Does that make sense? I just think he has a very punchable face. Other than that, I do believe he's a good actor. He's done good films. Superbad, Scott Pilgrim Saves the World. He's had bangers. I will agree.
Yeah.
I just want to hit him. I don't know what it is. You know? You don't feel like that?
I love Michael Cera.
I don't know.
I'm like the opposite, man.
Weird.
I love him.
I look at him and I go, fist is up and ready to go. And all of a sudden he talks. Yeah! And the fist goes flying, man. It's a horrible combination, dude.
I don't know, dude. I've always liked Michael Cera.
You can like Michael Cera. I'll stick to not liking him. I like him as an actor, not as a person. If that makes sense. I don't like him himself, but I like his acting. I hope you guys understand that. Another thing that I noticed that was very bizarre in this film. Stop laughing. I'm being serious now. I mean, I was being serious the whole time, actually. Another thing I noticed in this film, guys, is that when it came to the Barbies, they were very, what's the word I'm looking for? They were very inclusive with the Barbies.
Diverse?
Diverse, inclusive. You know, we had plus-size Barbie. I'm being nice now. We had wheelchair Barbie. We had trans Barbie, even. But I didn't even notice until like halfway through the film. I was just like, wait, what? Wait a minute. I was like, what? I didn't even notice until halfway through the film.
I didn't notice either.
No, I was like, wow, that
took me a while.
was really good. Like, it got me. I was like, what the hell? Where's plus size Ken? Where's wheelchair Ken? Where the hell is trans Ken? We don't see any of the Kens the Kens aren't diverse.
They're all the same physique.
They're all you could say some are a bit changing. You know, Ryan Gosling was at the peak of them all.
In general, they all had like
But
a muscular physique,
muscular toned physique.
Yep.
Yeah. But they were all, as you said, they're very similar. We had no diversity amongst the Kens. Why was that?
Other than like, other than their like race, there was literally nothing else.
Nothing else. But it was just kind of like, it was a bit weird. Like, if you were gonna go for diverse or inclusive or anything like that, wouldn't you just make sure it was all like that? Why would you only make it the Barbies and the Kens? You're just like, screw it, it's just Ken, who cares? You know? That was kind of weird for me. I mean, you could have the argument like, oh, they've never made Ken dolls in a wheelchair before. Why not? Why can't Barbie be in love with a guy in a wheelchair? Is that wrong? Oof. You know, or a plus-size Ken. What's wrong with that? She can't be in love with a Ken that's plus-size? What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? It starts to bring up these weird questions, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it seems like nothing, but when you think about it, there's a lot of something underneath that. I don't know why. I noticed that and it was kind of weird.
Because like they really put an effort into it for Barbie.
They put an effort into it.
And then when you see when it came to the Kens, they didn't give a shit. It's like, you have to, like, if you're going in this direction, at least be consistent.
Well, either that or maybe there's a reason why they didn't do it.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm genuinely curious.
Maybe it's because the Kens are not given enough, like, maybe it's because it's predominantly Barbie. Like, when it comes to, like,
the Barbie,
the toy line, I think no one really gives a shit.
I think they went with the intentions of because the movie's called Barbie, so they're focusing on Barbie. And when you go to the Barbie toys, they only focus on Barbie.
Ken's
obviously
just an accessory, and that was kind of like Ken's whole story in this. The reason why he's so obsessed with trying to have a relationship with Barbie is because as a Ken that is made, he has nothing else.
Well, he was made to be an accessory to Barbie.
Exactly.
You know, so he wasn't made. You know.
Yeah.
When there's a Barbie doll, there was never like, oh, here's a Ken doll.
Here's the Kens. Everyone likes Kens. No one gave a shit.
No one gave a shit.
And then that's the thing, and that's why you see the whole time why he's really obsessed with having a relationship with her. It's because literally he has nothing else for him. Like you even saw, like they don't even have a place to live.
Oh, it was very sad. It was very sad. But again, it's just like Mattel always focused on making things for Barbie because it's Barbie. The brand,
that's the brand name, essentially.
The brand's not. I get it. So I don't know. Maybe that's why. You know, maybe that could be it. So they never focused on the Ken dolls like in actual real life because they're just like, oh, it's not important. But again, as I mentioned before, it brings up some interesting questions. You could be like,
yeah, but I do agree. Like you said, like, you know, at least be consistent if this is the direction you want to go.
Well, yeah, it would have been good for some consistency or whatnot, or maybe they could have even like made a joke about it or something. You know, like maybe Ken's not important enough or something. But they did it a lot actually. But I don't know. I just wish there was an explanation. It was kind of like, you know, it was just a little bit weird.
Yeah, once you kind of like noticed it, it just felt jarring for the whole film.
It's not that it's like when I noticed it, it was just like blatantly obvious, and I thought, oh, and don't worry about it. Plus size Ken's gonna show up at some point, and he never did. My hopes and dreams were absolutely shattered. I was hoping for him.
Plus size men
As a fellow former plus sized individual, I felt
betrayed.
I wouldn't say betrayed, but I felt what's the word I'm looking for? Mortified.
Mortified.
Yes, I felt mortified. Younger me was absolutely crying. What about me? You know, am I not worth loving? You know, past me, not me now. I'm definitely worth loving.
Now it's me.
Will Ferrell was really good at this.
But I think, you know what? Since we've he's spouting some things that we weren't crazy, things that we just noticed that were that was weird. The positives is the jokes. I think a lot of the jokes in this film are really good.
This movie was surprisingly so funny. As much as I have gripes with the film here and there, was it a bad movie? No.
Overall, I actually liked the film.
Overall, I enjoyed it. But what was surprising, our mom watched this movie with her dad, and they both absolutely hated it. I'm not kidding you guys. They thought this was the creme de la shit. All right? It was my mom said it was one of the worst films she's ever watched in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our mom hated it a lot.
I recommended it to her because I thought she would like it. She absolutely hated it. Everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling couldn't save the film for her, which is a surprise, you know? But she just hated it. She didn't like how, she just thought, she did not like how the guys were portrayed in this film. That was it. That was her main complaint. She thought it was very bizarre. That was it. I feel like that was her main complaint.
She also didn't like the ending of the film.
Oh, my God. Okay, actually, we need to talk about the ending, because the ending's utter dog shit, guys. Spoiler alert. It's dog shit! Alright, the ending made no sense to me, alright? You have the real world, they're like, oh, you know, the real world, men are the overlords or whatnot, okay? They're the overlords or something like that, and I'm like, alright, cool, whatever. And they're in the Barbie world, the Barbies are the overlords in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, the Kens take over, they learn from the real world, you know, they learn about Stallone and working out. It wasn't a bad thing. And the Stallone and working out part
horses
and the love of horses was not a bad thing. I think the Kens were cooking something, you know. They may be dumb, but they understood the important parts, you know. But they just kind of went a little too far with it.
Yeah.
You know, overthrowing a government and everything, a bit weird. But I did appreciate the furry jackets, the love of Stallone, horses, and working out. I think every man could have that in their lives. It's a perfect thing, a perfect combination. But it's just the Kens, you know, overthrow the government, they take power. The Barbies take it back by manipulating them for the love that they have for them, which was very bizarre. I didn't like that.
Yeah, that
was weird. How do we get the Kens? How do we fight against the Kens? Let's manipulate them, use their love and affection that they have for us against them to turn them against themselves. I was like, oh, that's kind of really bad. That's kind of weird, you know? Hey, yo! No, I thought there was going to be a different way to handle it, but that's just kind of freaky, actually, you know? That's
pretty scary.
A little too real, you know? Goddamn, calm down. All right? You're using the wrong tactics here. There's a better way to handle that. And at the end of the film, the Barbies reclaim their, whatever the hell it is, their society, their place or whatnot. They reclaim it, and it just goes back to being normal. It was the worst ending ever. I just don't get it. So you take the real world, you flip it and make it upside down, you reverse it, and you keep it that way. Why the hell didn't you just make it equal? You have the Barbies and the Kens equal in power and stuff like that. You know, the Kens get their houses and stuff like that. Why can't it end on a good note? Why the hell does Barbie have to flip everything around, have the same problem, make it shit again, just flip everything around? Why couldn't you make it better? Why the hell did the Barbie land still have to be shit at the end of the film? Why couldn't it just be a better society? Why couldn't we see the peak society? No. Even in Barbie land, we can't goddamn have it. It just didn't make sense to me. It was just the worst ending ever. Oh my God. I don't know. That really pissed me off. I don't know.
I did think it was really weird, you know? Because I thought it was going in the direction where I'll be like, oh yeah, equality's pretty cool. But they're like, no, we don't really want that.
At the end of the day, Barbie just tells you, equality is bad.
Eat shit, Ken.
No, but that's what it teaches you. Equality is bad. It was very bizarre. Huh? Do any of the writers have a goddamn brain? That's a terrible message to show to people. Equality's bad. We should always have one in full power and the others should just eat shit and die. Why? Why can't we all just get along? You know, why can't we all just,
compromise,
coexist, you know, stuff like that. You know what? I would have been fine if you let Alan eat shit, okay? But why couldn't the Kens and the Barbies work together? Why? I don't know. I think that was my biggest gripe of the film. That was the biggest one. The ending was very bizarre to me.
It confused me a little bit. I was just like, it kind of lost me, I would say.
Yep.
Because like I didn't think it would go in that direction. I thought it was going into a more of an understanding and compromise and work together kind of leveling.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, not even an ounce of that. And it's like you said, Alan helped the Barbies and everything. And then
He
you
got
realize,
nothing out of it.
like, I kind of feel like I just feel really bad for Alan. Dude just gets shit. He got nothing out of doing anything.
Like, Alan gets nothing out of helping the Barbies. He's still treated like shit.
And even with the Kenta, he doesn't fit in anywhere. Like, what about Alan's?
No. Honestly, I think it would have been a better film if they utilized Alan's character far more. I feel like it's a wasted character. So much wasted potential that they could have done more for. They should have made him the main antagonist. The Barbies and the Kens work together. They defeat the evil goddamn Michael Cera overlord. They get rid of him. They get rid of him nicely. And then they coexist and realize that they're really good at working together. It's like, I can make the movie myself. I could write it. Oh my god, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Because
like it treats like that was the weird thing, because like when I look at it like with the Barbies, it kind of like, even when the Kens were asking, like, you know, near the end, like, oh, can we get like a governmental thing or whatever, I can't really remember the specific words, it's been a while since we watched the film. And they just like said like, oh no, you can get like this little thing or something. Like, they kind of like treat them like idiots, and it kind of like you flip it around and, you know, it's just like, I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, they were wanting a place with the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Just because they wanted like a little outfit or something.
Yeah,
least.
they want a cute outfit.
Yeah, and then they were like, oh no. And they were just like, the Kens would have the same kind of, rights or something like that. I can't remember the exact wording of it, of the women of the real world. And it's like, why? Why? It doesn't make sense. The Kens aren't the men of the real world. The Kens are completely, like, they're separate own entities, their own beings. Why would they have to be treated as such? Dude, genuinely weird ass ending. You know, I just felt like the ending was not thought out well.
I felt like the ending was more so like you said, like the whole like trying to work together, kind of like a more of an equality kind of approach. Instead, it just felt like like in a way, just like to spite men in a way. Like, oh, you have it so good in society, in this world, screw you. And I felt like, okay, like if that makes you feel better about yourself, sure. But I just felt it was kind of weird approach.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just a strange direction. Like, you literally just, I don't know. I just feel like there was wasted potential. The movie was good until like near the ending. I was just like,
the last half lost me. I think the first 2/3 I really enjoyed a lot. And I thought it was great.
And the last half completely lost me.
It had some great moments though.
Just because I was hoping for things to happen, I thought it was going to go in this good direction. It ended up going in a different direction. I wasn't favorable of, and it just and it just gave you a weird message in the end. I was just like,
and then Barbie just becomes kind of like chooses to become real, which I thought was
that was fine.
I don't mind. Interesting, yeah.
That was fine with me.
Yeah, because she was like lost because she wanted more, because she was just average Barbie. She had no accomplishments, no achievements, no nothing, and I can understand why. She was like, there's got to be more, you know, instead of just
there has to be more to my life and
this vagueness of nothingness. Yeah, no, I like that. Even with Ken, like I kind of felt bad for like even like Ken and. The fact again, like, you know, he had not. They generally had nothing to strive for. Like they said, their career was beach. They didn't even have jobs. Yeah. They didn't even have any like achievements or any accolades of their own.
No.
And you know, and it's like, can you really blame when he goes to the real world and he sees that there's a bunch of men that are actually doing shit? They actually have things to do and things that they enjoy. Like every Barbie was like, oh, I'm a Barbie, I wrote this. Oh, I'm a Barbie, I won this award. I'm a Barbie, I work as a doctor. And the Ken's like, I do nothing. I have nothing. I have no aspirations. I have no dreams. I have no goals. I have nothing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I don't blame when you go there and you see how much like the stuff like the men are actually doing, how like bring it back, you know, and like the crave for control as well comes from the fact that, you know, no housing at all.
Yeah.
Treated like shit.
Yes,
you know, and you kind of feel less than everybody, and it kind of made sense why they went in power. But you know, overall, like I do like the movie. The ending just weirded me out.
I don't know. I just felt like the ending could have been better. It could have given off a better message in the end. The whole entire arc of Barbie becoming human was fine.
I thought it was great.
It was just
the Barbie world itself.
The Barbie world itself concluded in a very bad way. I don't think it was a good message at all that was being told there. It was very bizarre to me. Yeah. I feel like it was very backwards. You know, you could have done a lot better in that aspect. Other than that, I like the film. I don't want to talk about Barbie anymore.
No, we've actually talked about it a lot. Like, it was actually really thought-provoking.
I'm done with talking about Barbie. The greatest thing about this film is Ken. I'm sorry. They should.
The main Barbie and Ken really carry it hard.
Ken steals the show. Ryan Gosling knocked it out of the park, bro. You can't say anything. No flame to Margot Robbie whatsoever. She's a really good actress. But he really gave a performance of a lifetime in this. That was it. Every time he's on the camera, he steals the scene. He steals the scene all the time.
I think it's just like his goofiness as well. It was just so like charming and stuff. It was just like,
yup.
I don't know. You're right. Okay.
That's my king. That's my Ken.
That's
all
my
right,
Ken.
we're moving on. 10 out of 10. It was a good film. It was a 10 out of 10. It was a great film. The last film we watched this week was Super Troopers. We ended up watching this movie because
oh my god, people have been like making references from this film in our Twitch chat when we stream.
God, they reference it so.
Oh my god.
Here's the worst part. All right, they reference it in our Twitch streams. We stream on Twitch, guys, every Friday and Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Eastern. We're always
12
there.
a.m.
12 a.m. Eastern. We're always there. You can catch us there if you want to see more of our faces, and if you don't come. All right. They keep referencing it. We tell them, I've never seen the movie, and they still keep referencing it.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. They just keep referencing. Even we're like, we haven't seen it. I
haven't
don't get the goddamn reference.
I
Okay.
don't get the reference. I don't get the joke, but apparently it's funny. So we ended up watching the film just so we could actually get the references, get the jokes, and I wouldn't have to be scratching my head every time. What does that mean, huh? Powdered sugar, huh?
Speaking of powdered sugar, I love that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My favorite scene of this entire film is literally when what's his face there?
Farva.
I think it was Farva.
Yeah, it's
I think
Farva.
when he's covered in he's just covered in powdered sugar, like a big old donut, and they're just spraying him with a hose. Like, why are you doing this to him? You know, they're literally just glazing him in the back rooms. It's kind of bizarre.
I don't like part was that they asked him how does it taste, and he's like, good.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna be honest with you. That line went kind of hard.
Yeah.
All right, that was kind of a hard line. Farva was the absolute most annoying character in this entire film, and at the same time, I feel like he was the most funny.
Yeah.
Every scene with him was kind of funny. He was just like,
and I love how at first, like the way they presented it, because we're like, oh, this guy seems like really nice. He's doing a lot of good things for people, and then you see his true colors show. You're like, oh, he's an asshole.
Wait, okay, here's the thing. Farva seemed like a great guy in the beginning. I thought everyone was just being mean to him because, you know, like, let's just pick on that one guy.
Yeah.
You know, just because, why the hell not? He's that one guy. But when that asshole walked he went to go get coffee, and he came back and he put a bar of soap in someone's coffee and thought it was funny, I was just like, you know what? He deserves every goddamn thing he gets to him. All right? Who the hell puts a bar of soap in your coffee? It's not even funny. You're just a goddamn moron. You really are. You're literally brain dead.
But that was basically his character, and everything he thought was a joke really wasn't that funny. He just didn't grasp the humor.
No, he could.
Like, you know what? They're like, the guy's trying to explain to him. He's like, oh yeah, you know, just before, you know, he meowed at the guy a couple times. The meow scene's 10 out of 10. I love
the meow scene was
remember
good.
He's trying to explain that the Farva and his ideas like, oh, I'm gonna go call him an F-face. It's like, bro, that's not the point to take it that far.
Yeah.
The point is slipping it in subtly and then playing it off like it's normal. You don't just go tell the guy to go screw himself in his...
Yeah.
He took it too extreme.
He took it too extreme, and any form of sense went over his head.
Yeah.
Over his head. It was even like when they were doing that, what was it? They were doing there was that whole big event of, they were catching the drug dealers or stuff like that, and he was just like, absolutely getting shit-faced at the party. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're supposed to present your entire, what was it, his, what do they call it, the highway police or something like that?
Yeah.
You're supposed to, like, represent all your homies, and you're just looking like an
Dude
asshole.
got wasted, vomited, wasted some more.
Like, why are you doing that? This isn't the place for that. Technically, you're still on duty.
To be fair, all of them were pretty much shitheads. I don't think there was one of them that was redeemably good.
My favorite character in this movie was, I can't remember his name. Oh
Which
my
one?
god, the guy who played the, he played the, oh my god, he was like...
The guy with the mustache?
Not the guy in the mustache, though. He was funny. It was,
Dude, the joke is most of them had mustaches.
That
was the joke.
Oh, you're right.
You're so stupid.
The only one who didn't was Rabbit, right?
Yeah,
Rabbit
he was trying to grow it out.
He couldn't grow it out. Wait, did Foster have one? I don't think he did. Foster,
yeah, he did.
Did he have a mustache in that?
Yeah, like a really shitty one, but I think he had a mustache.
He did his best effort. I can't remember. It was the guy who was the head of the department of the police, of the highway police. I can't remember his name right now.
I know the actor.
I know the actor.
Because he recently played on a show that did really well, Succession.
Oh, he was in that?
Yeah, I think his name was Brian Cox or something. Brian.
Oh! Yes, it is. That's him.
I don't remember the character name, but I know him as an actor. He's really great. Like, in general, he's a great
honestly,
actor.
he was.
I was surprised to see him.
He was my favorite part about this film. I thought he was funny. Like, 10 out of 10, funny. Every time he's on the camera, the guy's funny as hell. I liked him a lot.
I love the part where he just got shit-faced in his lawn, started just trying to fight things.
Oh, yeah, he was, like, fighting things on the guy's lawn. Just, like, absolutely.
Beat up the flamingo?
Yeah, he was just, like, beating the shit out of every lawn ornament that the guy had. I think they even, like, tore up his mailbox or something like that. I can't remember. But, I don't know. I liked him a lot. I thought he was super funny.
The thing is about this movie, though, like, it's just a kind of, like, a dying breed of film. Like, they don't make movies like this anymore, where it's just, like, it was kind of, like, popular around this era, I would say, like, maybe, like, early 2000s and stuff, where it's, like, a group of, like, even, like, maybe even earlier and stuff like that. It's, like, a group of people who do, like, a really obscure, mundane job, and they're just crazy as shit.
Yeah, they're, like, completely, like, giga weirdos.
Yeah, they're absolutely weird and everything, and, like, it was actually, like, I would say it's even a genre in its own. I don't know what you would call it, but it was very, like, specific.
It's kind of like, you know, the thing is, the movie's kind of like stupid funny.
Yeah.
It's not stupid funny to the point where the stupid is overblown. It's stupid in a good way.
Yeah.
You know? It's, it kind of reminds me of, like, even, like, parody films. I think it's in the same category in the sense that it's just a dying breed that they don't make no more. And I feel like the problem is that when they try to make a film like this, I feel like they go too stupid. You know, I feel like there's a fine line you can't cross, and most of the time...
I've mentioned it before, but it's that line in which you cross and where you're funny or cringe. It's like the one where you laugh and the one you go, oh, like, I don't know, but like, like, you know when you, like, they make, like, a really bad fart joke in a movie? It's just like...
We actually watched a movie recently, I'm not going to say what it is, that had that in there.
And it was actually just a moment of just, like...
And I'm not going to lie, it took me out of the film, and I really hated it. I cannot stand when movies try to do fart jokes.
They're generally really bad.
And I don't care if you say, oh, but it's for the kids. Then you're literally making kids stupid. All right? It's not funny. It's dumb. Please stop. It's 2023, all right? Stop it. It's over. Nobody thinks it's funny anymore. You have to be an absolute moron or someone who smokes pot, a loser, all right, to think that's funny, all right? I'm not neither of those. I'm not a loser and I'm not a moron, so it just doesn't work for me. So figure something else out.
I really feel like that's the one that it always goes into cringe for me. It is so rare that they do it in a way that's funny.
I feel like toilet humor's very hard to nail. I feel like, especially as time goes on,
it gets worse.
It gets worse. It's very difficult to do that. I would say just don't do it at all. You're safer to do that. I personally just don't like it.
No, I feel like more than often. I think maybe they've had some funny ones. I think maybe in
I think it was Austin Powers had one that was funny, but they did it in a different way.
Yeah, but not even that. But I think even Dumb and Dumber had one.
Yeah, Dumb and you know what the thing is? Again, they did it in a way.
Even Along Came Polly. Remember when Ben Stiller's character, he's in the washroom and everything's going really bad.
And he clogs it completely horribly
with her like her grandmother's doily thing.
Yeah, but you see, there's a way to do it where it works.
It accelerates kind of like into this way where it becomes funny, but like just a farce not funny, bro.
Yeah, just generic fart noise.
And that's what I mean. Like it's that fine line of like funny and cringe, man. And I feel like a lot of comedies nowadays are just like.
They're just going to
most of their jokes are going cringe, and they're missing that funny, and they're just missing it so consistently. It's very rare that comedies come out nowadays.
I haven't seen a lot of modern. I mean, I don't watch a lot of movies anymore, guys. I mean, we watch most of the movies for the channel, so I don't watch a lot of current films. It's very rare that we do so. To watch movies in our own free time.
To be honest, this week with Barbie, and even next week we did a very current one, and it's rare for us, but we've done it. Barbie's current, isn't it?
Oh, Barbie is current. Yeah, sorry, I kind of like I wouldn't. I don't know why.
Yeah, it came out this year.
I went. Yes, it did. I'm sorry. I just for some reason I had like a, I don't know. I had like a memory leak or something.
There's very few movies we do that come out this year. I think we did John Wick 4 that came out more recent for a film.
Yes, John Wick 4. We actually did do another recent film that came out this year. For next week, I think, or the week after. We're very ahead to the point where I forget what's coming out, guys.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. Like at this point right now, from what you're seeing, we are already 3 movies ahead. We're already ahead.
It's weird because sometimes these movies are like a blur. You know,
when you watch I think we're almost at 400 films in total that we've done entirely. And when you watch this many movies, especially like every week, you watch 3 new ones. Some of them just become blurs. It's hard to remember.
Some of them overlap. Some of them just become blurry. It's very hard to remember unless the movie's like really, really good or I know it's gonna stick with me forever.
Yeah.
Then it's easy to remember. Like Indiana Jones is a good example of a film that I will never forget. All the three of them, I will never forget those.
Dude, we
films.
just derailed from Super Troopers entirely. Well, I think it's because it's just the concept of comedy.
Super Troopers, more like Super Poopers. Yeah. When it comes to Super Troopers, it's just a stupid...
There really isn't much to say.
There's not much
It's a classic comedy. It's just really enjoyable to watch.
That's the thing. It's a classic comedy. The stakes aren't all that high. The worst that could happen when they lose their jobs.
And technically they do and don't. I kind of love that.
Technically they did, and they ended up saving the day and getting new jobs, which was very nice. I also like the ending of the film when they go in disguise to the frat party and they find the same three losers from the beginning who are like absolutely like out of their minds high.
Absolutely perfect.
I felt like how everything went full circle and they met up again.
Yeah.
That was very well done. I liked that. That was very good. That was a good touch.
Yeah. I think that's the thing in general. Like, there's not much to talk about. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was incredibly funny.
It's just like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I think of films, so Corpse Bride is thought provoking to a certain extent. Barbie's very thought provoking. There's a lot going on. Super Troopers, brain empty, no thoughts. All right. There was no thought provocation when you watch that film.
No.
There's just
you're there for a good time.
You're there for a good time. My brain is just like. The whole entire time. I'm there to enjoy myself. I'm there to get stupid and laugh. All right? And you know what? It does a goddamn good job at it. All right? I had a good time. I laughed. I saw a guy covered in powdered sugar. I felt a little envious, but I won't tell you that.
Oh, dude.
What? Oh, my... Okay, actually, I just thought of something. Go on.
No, you
were first. You were first.
No, I was just going to say, like, I just couldn't... I'm still in disbelief of the logo of the monkey. That was so bad.
It
was so funnily bad.
I thought that logo was sick. I wish
it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
We had a logo similar like that for ourselves. For
a monkey beating off a banana dick?
Yeah, I wish we had something similar. I wish we had a logo similar to that. That'd be sick.
Something beating off something?
Not something itself, man.
Like a fruit?
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny?
Disguised as a fruit?
Yeah, like why don't we make like a shirt similar to it and it shows like a tapir and it's like beating off an eggplant or something. You know, I would just plaster it on a shirt or even put it on a hat or something. I think that would be funny, though. Wouldn't that be funny, though?
Oh, God,
Isn't that great merch idea?
It just spawned an
idea. Would you guys wear the
Mm-hmm.
tapir beating off an eggplant shirt? I'm just asking, because if you guys were willing to wear it, I'm willing to make it. I know I would wear it, personally. I would wear that. I would rock that hard. Maybe...
No pun intended?
No pun intended.
What do you want to talk about, though? I don't know why the logo of the monkey just popped in my brain.
There was one scene that a really good scene that I really liked, and I thought was extremely, I was just like, what's happened? There's some things in this film that made me question what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Am I in another universe? What planet am I on? When they stopped the Europeans on the side of the road, and Rabbit just got, he got a mouthful of the guy's wife, and I was just, I was just like... I don't know why, but I didn't even I don't even know if I found it funny or disturbing. I didn't know what the hell to think. I was just like, what's going on here? Like, I'm kind of freaked out now. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. This doesn't feel right. And the fact that Rabbit was, really into it made me more concerned. I was like, why would you do this?
No, my problem was the fact that the husband was so into it.
Oh, he really liked it.
He's one of those guys.
He had his little feather.
His little duster thing?
Yeah, his little feather going at Thorny.
That was so weird, man.
That entire segment I really didn't like. I don't know why. It was kind of bizarre. That was it. I was just like, Europeans, man. Crazy.
There's some weird people in Europe.
Almost alien-like, honestly. I don't know what you guys are up to over there. Beans and toast and letting other guys kiss your wife? That's bizarre, man. I don't know how you guys do that. Sorry, Europeans. It's not my thing. I would like to have my wife for myself. But you do you guys. I don't know.
It's just meant to be like a European thing.
It has to be, man.
It has to be?
It's the only way that you could explain something like that. I don't know how I would explain that to a normal person.
Europeans are normal?
Other than it's... Guys,
it's Europe.
Guys, it's a European thing.
They do crazy things.
That's normal in Europe, man.
They like to share a lot more.
Right? They're very nice. They're very sharing. Even with their spouses. It's kind of weird. But hey, Europeans, keep on doing what you're doing, Let's move on to the question segment.
But
On
do
that
you
note,
want to rank the movies though? Like
rank the movies on which I liked more.
I think it might be fun to even try just give them a good old ranking to see where we put them.
Oh, ranking segment.
Yeah,
ranking
I think just taking a quick moment to kind of like list
ranking
off.
time. Oh,
It's not that like they're worse.
Oh, what movies did we enjoy more in this
yeah, like
week kind of thing?
What was your level of enjoyment?
Oh,
Mine's easy. I already know mine. Like it's just like,
shoot to kill.
Barbie, Corpse Bride. No, Barbie, Super Trooper, Corpse Bride last.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, mine was Barbie, Corpse Bride, and Super Trooper.
The reason why I put Super Trooper up, like by a notch, is because like I had so much fun just because of laughing a lot.
The reason why I put Super Trooper down is because I remembered the European scene.
You knocked it off for Europeans.
And the more I was thinking about it, the more I was just like, ah, man, I can't really get with the Europeans.
European out of 10?
European out of 10, guys. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair.
It's not like I hated the movie. Just like in terms of enjoyment, I was pleasantly surprised with Corpse Bride.
You know
because
what?
it was a musical, and
Yeah,
I ended up liking
you know I can
it.
understand that.
So it's just like Barbie.
That is
Corpse
very
Bride,
rare. Like,
right?
I'm not even. Curtis isn't playing musicals. He like literally hates them.
I genuinely hate them. So the fact that the Corpse Bride kind of like it's a passing grade of a musical, in a sense.
You know, I can see that for you.
I would put it as a second because it was a surprise enjoyment.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty
that's
okay.
why.
I'm pretty okay at musicals. I'm not like the most craziest about, it, but I'll watch them.
I absolutely hate them. For the most part, I hate them.
But I just think for me, Super Troopers, I put it just above. Because like I laughed so much, man. A lot of those jokes were so dumb as hell, and it was like.
No,
right
okay,
up my
but
alley.
the Super Troopers is last not because I didn't like it.
I know.
I mean?
I enjoyed all the movies.
I enjoyed all the movies we watched, but
You know, it's very rare that I actually don't like a movie we watch. It's so rare. I think
I could think about. I've got a handful that I could like. You know what? We should do a podcast
special where we talk about all the films we hate the most on the channel.
I think that would be great, honestly, because I've got a lot to say about those movies.
You know what? Oh,
we might try to do that one, guys.
We might do a random special, just upload it randomly.
Yeah, we might try out something like that. We have something brewing, something cooking. All right, guys, we're gonna move on. We're gonna get to the question segment. We had a lot of you guys out there asking us all kinds of important questions.
If I look right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
We have lucky number 7 questions, guys.
I'm gonna do this one because this is one that was in the last video, but I forgot to take it. I don't know why.
Okay, go ahead. Open up the question.
And it's simply, what does Octokrool...
Hey! You can't go on reading the question without the name.
I was gonna say it afterwards.
No! Mix Kicks. Mix Kicks.
That's a good name.
It's a really good name.
I like rhymes. Mix Kicks.
Mix Kicks.
Yep.
Asks us, what does Octokrool mean? We have mentioned the meaning of Octokrool on the Twitch streams a lot. And we realize...
It's a very frequent question.
And we realize we've never really mentioned it on the YouTube channel. So take it away, Chris. Let them know what it is.
So, before Octokrool, the channel had a different name that was an innuendo for testicles.
Testicles.
Yeah, it was testicles. And, like, I was doing video games at that point, and there was a game that I made a video of, and the creators of the game wanted to feature my video. But they saw the name of my YouTube channel. They're like, we can't have that. They're like, we like you, but we really can't, like, in any way support or, like, advertise that. And I was like,
sure.
Okay. I was like, I gotta change my name. And then I thought quickly, like, I did it in a day. Like, there was no thought into it. It's not like this giga brain activated, oh my god, this is, like, the greatest thing ever. No, I put together 2 of my favorite things. One of my favorite animals is an octopus. I think it's fairly obvious. And another thing, one of my favorite video game characters of all time is King K. Rool. K. Rool Cruel. Octo from Octopus, Octokrool. There is literally no thought process in this. I just combined 2 things I loved, and I was like, yeah, that'll do. I didn't think this would be the channel name that I have, and where things actually took off, and I'm like, oh, well, this is it now. I kind of like it, though. I'm cool
honestly,
with it.
there is not a lot of thought behind it, but it's genuinely a very good name because it's a very unique name, and not a lot of people have it, and I kind of like
Nobody has it, man.
Nobody has it. So
I searched it up on YouTube first, like, oh, let's see if it, I mean, on Google, I'm like, any idiots have this? I'm like, no, I'm the first idiot.
Yeah. So it's cool to have a name that's unique and nobody really has. I think that's really very clever. Well, there you go, Mix Kicks. Now you know the origin story of Octokrool. You're welcome.
The lore begins.
The lore begins.
All right, which one do you want next?
Let's go to the next one right there.
All right. So
we're gonna have to increase that in size.
We're zooming in.
I can't really see.
We're zooming in.
You just went to the second. Go back.
Oh,
zoom
okay.
in.
I got it.
Let's read that beautiful name before we start reading.
It is
Marissa
the Book Noir 9027.
Marissa the Book Noir 9027. I think
is it Noir or is it Noir or Noir D?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's bothering me. All right, Marissa.
I really don't know.
All right, Marissa. All right.
All right.
My question for you is, do you watch sports? And if so, what's your favorite and why? Sports. Ooh.
I do not watch sports. I think sports are absolutely lame and boring.
I feel like that's the weird thing. I really enjoy, like, watching sports anime, sports films, but sports in general, I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, just because I work out, people assume I like sports. I absolutely hate sports because sports to me is the most uninteresting part. I care more about the training aspect than I do of the actual sport itself. So it's just like, you know, I just don't have the interest in it. That's it. I would rather play the sport. I think playing the sport's very fun.
I think playing the sport's fun too, but watching it is not really a me thing.
Watching it just, it doesn't do anything for me. All I know is the Lions suck.
I wanted to say, like, the only sport I've actually put time into watching was sumo. And I watched that for a while.
Sumo's kind of crazy.
And sometimes
cool.
I'll watch it here and there, but, like, my favorite sumo wrestlers have, like, retired. And so, like, I kind of, like, lost a little interest. Maybe I'll get it back in. But, yeah, generally sports is just, we don't care.
No, couldn't care less.
Sad to say.
Next question.
All right, what do we got next? Let me go. This is from IGPX0.
IGPX0.
Is there a go-to movie or TV show you both had growing up to help you get through rough times, like a safety net?
Oh, a safety net of a film, you say?
That's easy.
Go ahead and let him know.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
True.
There was one point in my life where I was just like, I would literally get home from school and I would just be so miserable, man. I didn't want to do anything. I would literally just lay in bed, put on Fellowship of the Ring, and I would just chill. And I would do it every day when I got home from school. I don't know why. It was just I think it was a couple weeks. And I was just like the most miserable.
Just helps you get by.
And then afterwards I got past that, man, I was like, I'm free. I was good. I just watched a movie I love and I'm good.
Yeah, I would have to say something of the similar sense. Is that I would, Lord of the Rings is a good one, but Rocky would primarily be my thing that I would, if I ever feel like I'm in a rut or something and I need something to pick me up, I would watch Rocky, specifically the Rocky IV training montage scene. Yeah. And another thing that does give me a little pick-me-up, it's not TV or movies, but sometimes I'll reread a manga that I love.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go in and reread Hajime no Ippo, just to get that little spark, that little flame, ignited once more. Those are the kind of things that really pick you up. It's stories that motivate you to be better and want you to do better.
When it comes to, like, you mentioned manga, Hajime no Ippo is up there, but also Blue Giant. Like, Blue Giant just gives me this momentous feeling of, like, passion and motivation.
Yeah.
Every time I read it, one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
That's why I got this tattoo of the saxophone, just because of that.
Yeah.
But
all of those are the things that are my pick-me-ups, essentially. That was a really good question. Thank you, dude.
IGPX0.
All right, let's go to the next question.
All right, next question is, who's the older of you guys?
Read his name!
I was just going to get into it. Calm down. I was going to get into it, Curtis. Okay, Sten Brotsgatten. I probably said your name wrong.
Sten Brotsgatten!
Yeah, he said, who's the older of you guys? And under him is Magic Mac, and he said, I'm guessing Chris.
Is he related to Magic Mike?
I added Magic Mac's comment because he's right. It was a good guess.
Not only can you dance and strip very well, but you're also a smart person, Magic Mac.
Good job, Magic Mac. Thank you for the comment, Sten.
Chris is a minute older.
Yeah.
A singular minute.
Not by much. I swear to God, Magic Mac just said he looks bigger. He's probably older.
You know what? Magic Mac was cooking something there, man, using his next level observation skills.
Yeah, he was right, so.
All right, let's go. Next.
All right, next. Boom. Oh, this is a long one.
That's a big one.
But we're going to get just to the question.
I want to see the name. Robert Barron 283.
Yes.
Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah, Robert Barron.
I read his comment. Go to the left. He was telling me that Indy is an archaeologist, not an architect. I called him an architect, like Ted Mosby, man.
Ted Mosby.
I don't know why. You know what? They both got arc in it. You know, like the arc itself. You open it, you blast open. But we screw you, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's see what the question he's got. Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. Do either of you guys have a favorite go-to fantasy or horror film? If so, what is that one?
We already let's skip fantasy because Lord of the Rings is definitely it.
He said that we both rock. Oh shit, Robert. When I said I screw you, I meant I love you. I would only screw you out of love. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean that, you know.
Yeah, but I think
Architects, am I right? Go on.
I think we should skip like the fantasy because
It's
Lord
honest.
of the Rings.
It's Lord of the Rings, guys. Lord
Like,
of the Rings.
that's just obvious. And like, what's like a go-to horror film? What's a horror film that you have watched more than once? Let's start with that. Is there a horror film you've watched more than once?
Let me think. No, there isn't.
There's only 2 horror films I've watched more than once.
What?
In my free time.
Go ahead. I need to actually use my
The
brain.
Thing.
That is true.
It's the first movie I've done on the channel. It has a special place in my heart because it's still my favorite horror film I've done on the channel.
Okay, I got one. Go on.
No, go. I did the one. You do one now.
I would say I've never watched it more than once, but a horror film that really got to me. The Thing was good, but Event Horizon was one that I genuinely loved just because I'm a huge Dead Space fan. I'm a huge fan of sci-fi horror in that kind of aspect. Not like aliens are coming. Not that. I'm into like we're in space. Shit's going crazy. There's some weird creatures crawling around.
And there's no explanation. We're screwed. It's a horrible experience.
So Event Horizon would be there.
Technically Predator and Alien.
I don't know. I don't really count Predator as a horror, though. It felt more like an action. You know, they literally mowed down a bunch of guys like they're grass, dude. Like, I don't know.
And they literally mowed down trees, too.
Yeah, so it's just like...
I know it technically counts, but... Okay. But... Oh, God, because I love Predator and Alien as well.
I do like Predator and Alien, but right now the first thing that came to mind was Event Horizon, so I'm going to go with that.
And then the other movie I've watched more than once, I guess, counts as horror. It's not really even horror. Wait. Horror? Does it have to be, like, scary purely? Because Gremlins is a horror comedy.
Oh,
I love Gremlins.
Gremlins is a good choice. Yeah, I love Gremlins.
I'll go Gremlins, actually. Gremlins is a movie I could rewatch multiple times.
Actually, I'm going to have to go with Gremlins as well, because Gremlins is probably the most rewatched horror film that I've watched.
Yeah.
I remember we've watched it with our mom multiple times.
Yeah.
So
in general with her family, like we love Gremlins.
We love Gremlins.
Gremlins it is for horror.
Gremlins it is.
Lord of the Rings fantasy and Gremlins.
Yes.
Thank you, Robert. We love you.
Thank you.
This is a comment we're doing because we got this a lot in our last podcast. It is from Mariola _ love 9194. Have you guys watched the Back to the Future trilogy yet? If not, it's a must-watch.
It sucks to say, guys, but we have seen all 3 Back to the Future films. We are not losers. We will not fake reactions.
No.
We will never do this movie on the channel.
No. Unless we collab with someone who's never seen it.
That's the only pass.
We guarantee you it will not happen with the 2 of us. We've seen them all. We're confirming it. We're not going to fake a reaction of shit we've already seen.
No.
Back to the Future's off the list. It's great movies, by the way.
Honestly, extremely great movies. Yeah. Back to the Future 1, goated. Back to the Future 2, oh, baby. Now we're cooking something. Back to the Future 3, it's okay.
Not bad.
Not bad. It's okay.
Not bad.
But I really like Back to the Future 2. I think Back to the Future 2 is an incredible film.
Yeah. I totally agree. It's a good trilogy. I genuinely love Back to the Future movies. I've seen the first one way too many times to count. Like, so when I'm going to bed at night, I turn it on.
I've rewatched Back to the Future multiple times. It's one of those movies that you go back to.
You can rewatch it easily.
Oh, 100%. All right.
Anyways, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're on the last one.
We're on the final question.
This man left me a long comment.
Wait, that's really long. Where's the question?
The question's right at the end.
Okay, but
how are y'all so cool?
Okay, whatever.
And that comes from Brian Burkhard T.
Brian Burkhard T.
Or it's just Burkhard and you don't pronounce it T.
Burkhard T 3692.
Yeah, and he says, "How are y'all so cool?"
Let's see what he's saying. I want to see what he's saying. Hold on.
He was just giving us like a little thing to let us settle in with the movies we watch, and maybe like before we ever think of watching the next 2 Indiana Jones films.
Oh, okay.
We'll probably not do them. I'll be honest. I'm not that interested.
I don't know. I don't know if we're desperate for content. Maybe. I'm being honest. If I've run out of things to watch and I don't know what to do, I definitely will do them. Like I'm not gonna. Guys, I have no shame. All right. Like
it's not a rush. It's not a rush.
Not a rush.
But how are y'all so cool? Ask your mother. That's it.
Ask your mother. There's a bit more that comes into play. The heavy part is genetics. I would say
emphasis on the heavy.
Heavy on the genetics. I feel like I'm just genetically cool.
I'm just really heavy.
Whoa, that was a good one. God damn. I'm not gonna say any more. That was really good.
Yeah, that's
definitely
our questions. That's our questions.
That's all our questions?
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa, we did all the questions.
Yeah.
We talked about all the movies that we watched this week. I don't know, this could be the end of the podcast. This could be the end of Octopodd. What do you think? Is it a yay or is it an A? Do we have anything else to talk about? Do you have anything else you want to bring up before we end?
No, honestly, I have nothing.
We've got nothing!
Shit all!
It's finito, home slice. So on that, guys, is the end of the Octopodd. Thanks for joining us. We had a lot of goofs. We had a lot of gaffes. And it was a great time. So we'll be seeing you guys next time on the Octopodd. It's going to be a fun week. We got very interesting films coming up. Don't you worry.
What do we do next? Oh, you know what? For next week, we might bring on a guest. I'll leave that. If you get to the end of this, if you get to the end of this, you know why. Don't you dare. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Why?
Oh no!
Yeah,
I hate him. All right, guys.
I do too. I think he's a piece of shit. But
we
he's coming on.
We might have a guest. He's a piece of shit.
We hate him. We hate him definitely.
We indefinitely hate him.
Yep.
For some reason, we love him. So see you guys next time. So
special emoji this week. Frog emoji.
Frog emoji. I better see your goddamn frog emojis.
Frogs now!
Bring out the frogs, baby. Bring out the frogs.
Bring the frogs. On that note, we're gonna peace on out.
Bye. Frogs!